All right, welcome to My Prostate is Trying to Kill Me. This is volume 84. I'm Mark Graves, just a regular old guy fighting prostate cancer, and glad to have you along for the ride. It's Friday, so I got my t-shirt on for Remember Everyone Deployed. Thank you very much to our armed services. Every Friday we wear a red t-shirt just to keep them in mind. I appreciate that. So we've got Jack and Indio with us today. Tom is doing some handyman work, so he couldn't join us. Or maybe I didn't call him. I'm not sure which one. But we started talking to Indio yesterday and found out that you're a Renaissance man and you live in Florida. And I got to tell you, I was telling Jack before we started recording on here, the more I talk to you guys, the more my self-esteem is dropping because it's like you guys are all extremely talented guys. And so I'm just like, all right, I'll go sit over here in the corner while you guys talk about this. But it is a pleasure to have you on here. So yesterday we talked about your prostate cancer and that you went in for your regular physical and were diagnosed, and then they gave you all three of the choices. So you had a choice between observation, the radiation, or the chemo, and you chose radiation. And you were on, what was today, number 19?
Today's night was 19, correct.
19 out of 44. So you've got a lot of radiation treatments coming. So we did get to talk about a lot of things yesterday, but something we didn't talk about was you had said your family, has drawn close to you, and that the kids are checking on you more and that kind of stuff. So I just kind of wanted to find out a little bit, if you're comfortable talking about it, about the relationship with you and your wife. And
oh yeah, I mean, I got a great story about how I met with my wife, but we're pretty close. I mean, we've been 45 years, and I think that's maybe it's 44 years plus 2 when we actually were together. Yeah, we've been pretty close. She's gone through a whole bunch of medical issues, and there's no way I was going to leave her. So she's just, and she's a trooper. I mean, she's a strong person. She's a RN with a BSN with training, and she happened to be in hospice nursing. And among other things, but hospice was probably the longest stint that she had. And then she hurt her back. One of the perils of being a nurse is lifting patients up and getting hurt.
mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, she fell a couple of times. One where she broke her coccyx.
Mm.
Yeah. And so then came the leukemia. And so after a while, you get just battling illness, and then the side effects when it, on top of that. So, she decided to retire. She's pretty much, at home doing her nurse thing because she loves to do medical research. I think a lot of the women in the community see her as a leader. She's compassionate. She's a good listener. She's very strong, and she's a godly woman. Prays all the time. As a matter of fact, this morning the women came into our home to do prayer time. Answer prayer. Or pray for people who need prayer,
Mm-hmm.
for whatever needs that may be. So, yeah, she's awesome. She's awesome.
No, that's fantastic. That's a huge thing, in being able to survive the prostate cancer, is having that support.
Yeah.
No, that is incredible. Unfortunately, Jack, you didn't have that.
Right. I got my kids though. And
yeah,
they've done basically the same thing. They've really stepped up, and like probably once a week I get a call or a text from all of them just asking me, "Hey, how you doing? What's going on?" And then I get, like last night, I got a video call from my granddaughter and my daughter. So
Oh, nice.
cool.
I love that. So
That's
Nice. Now, have you guys noticed, or is it just me lately on the support group page, that there's been, how do I word it? Guys that didn't win their battle?
Yep. I've noticed that a lot.
And
I haven't noticed it a lot, but you know, I'm not sure. Other than you, Mark, letting us know the status of the young, I think it was a young man. I'm not sure if he's young or not, but he passed away. You told us about him.
oh yeah,
yesterday. And then there was I guess a friend of yours or an acquaintance of yours. She passed away. She was a nurse. But that's all I know.
yeah. It's there's so many people. I mean, thousands of people on that page. It's hard to keep up with all the posts on that support page. But it just seems like what I've been noticing in the feed is that a lot of it is, you know, like the wife will get on there and post up and say, hey, you know, Bob lost his fight today, or you know, a daughter will get on and say, Dad didn't make it. You know, he lost his fight today. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was me or it was just picking up. And I thought, how bad does that suck? We're coming into the holiday season, you know, and here these guys are losing their fight, and it just kind of makes me angry. You know, it's kind of like, wow, couldn't have waited till, you know, after Christmas, you know, had one more holiday or whatever. But I guess there's no control over that. You know, some of these guys have been fighting for a long time. And it's one of the things that Tom and I had talked about on a video, was that people say, oh, you have the, you know, the easy kind of cancer.
The good cancer.
Yeah, the good. Oh, you have the good cancer.
Yeah, I remember a video you did on that one.
Yeah, and it's you know, you want to try and be nice to people, but boy, you sure feel like telling them where to get off when they tell you that, because it's like, you know what, I have something inside my body that's trying to kill me. There's nothing good about that, you know, at all. And so as we head into the holiday season, it's just really making me think about these guys, you know, that aren't making it, you know. And then I look at us, and we're so lucky because we have the support. You know, we've got our families. Jack, you've got your kids. I know Tom's got a huge amount of support. Brian's going to be talking to us, I think, on Monday. So we'll try and set that up. I think we're doing coffee together on Monday.
Very cool.
And he's got a good support group. You know, so many of the guys do on that page, but it just seems like lately there's been, you know, not as much good news as you would want. But it's so freaky because I never thought about prostate cancer. I mean, it never crossed my mind. I didn't know anybody that had it. Nobody in my family had it. Well, that's not true. My non-blood uncle had it back in the 70s or something like that, and had his prostate removed. So that's all I knew of it. And then once I was diagnosed with it, and I got on that support page, and I started reading all of these guys that have prostate cancer, and it's incredible. It's just nuts, you know, the number of guys that have it.
Can you say which support page you're referring to?
It's the one we talk to each other on.
On Facebook?
On Facebook, yeah.
Okay, now so I wasn't sure if I was on that support page. I thought it was your page. So
no, that's just the general. Yeah, that's just the general support page on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but it's.
Thanks for clarifying that, because I wasn't sure if I was on the right.
And I'm not even sure who the admin is on that.
I thought it was you. Okay.
Yeah, the only contact I had is I got my hand smacked because I put a post up for selling the wristbands on there at cost, and so he stayed. You know, can't sell anything on here. I'm like, oh, sorry. You know, should have read the rules better. But it's kind of nice. There's not. I would assume there's not a lot of policing on there. Fortunately, I don't see any politics being discussed. You know, it's just the part that wigs me out a little bit. Some of these guys are giving some heavy duty advice, you know, and it's kind of like,
Yeah.
maybe the doctor should be giving that advice.
Yeah.
You know, give your experience, you know, talk
Yeah.
about what happened with you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like with us, we're not doctors and we're not playing them on TV. You know, we're just telling you what happened to us
Right.
and how things have worked out, you know, and
Right.
you can take it for what it's worth. But some of those guys on there, man, they're just like, you know, no, this is the way you have to do it. You know, you're crazy if you don't. It's a little too serious.
Well, that's like, you know, Indio had the choices. I mean, I didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got stage 4 metastasized cancer. So my doctor was like, no, we don't take them out anymore for that. I guess some doctors still do, but he doesn't, because it's of no, you don't gain anything from it, because the rest of your body has cancer too. So you try to treat it and stop it from doing anything. And, you know, because my kids were like, no, cut it out, get it out now. And I'm like, it does no good. And that makes a logical sense. You know, if it's moved outside of the prostate, then I mean, I have it in my lymph node and I have it in my sacrum, just, you know, like Tom does.
Mhm.
And, you know, 5 years ago, they would have taken it out. But the benefit of taking it out does not outweigh the side effects of taking it out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know I guess, Mark, you had mentioned it, but it didn't really hit me that way, the way Mark just said it. So it's almost like if you repeat it, eventually it'll sink in, you
Yeah.
know. So I appreciate that, Jack. My doctor said that age 64, he says if I was 40 or 50, he was said, let's take care of this now. If I was 70 or 80, he would have said, don't worry about it. We'll just keep an eye on it. You know, maybe do radiation therapy. But because I was on the borderline,
Right.
and it was a 3-4 on a Gleason, he said,
Yeah.
it's up to you.
Did you ever find out what your PSA levels were?
I was looking for it last night. I could not find it. My wife seems to think it was 16, 17, but
Yeah.
I don't know for sure. I have to actually see it, but I couldn't find the paperwork.
That's what my doctor told me, that, you know, nothing, it was just basically treat the cancer. And like I said, he hoping he can keep me alive long enough to die from something else. And he said that since my metastasis was, you know, minor, yeah, it's still metastasis, but it's minor. He said that there may be some benefit from the radiation, which is why I ended up getting 25 treatments of radiation.
Gotcha.
And
Okay. Yeah.
I still haven't, I mean, we haven't done any scans to see what that did.
Mhm.
I have a CAT scan for my chest on Monday, and I'll find out if that part's gone. But like, I do remember the one where I said the spot on my brain is gone.
Yeah.
You know, and that was a big. It was a relief, and after I talked to my oncologist, not a relief, because
Yeah,
like,
I heard that. I was
you know,
like,
it's like,
what?
well, yeah, I wish it would have stayed. You know, it's like, what? Yeah, because now he had, and again, he says, I can't prove it. He says, but I assume that because it went away, it was the treatment you're on that caused it to go away. So I have to assume that it was tied to your prostate, so your metastasis in your brain and elsewhere. So it had traveled further than he had thought. But all I say is, you know, every day I wake up and I thank God for another day, and I feel fine. I mean, I am getting a little bit of fatigue every now and then, but it's not so much that I can't do anything. Like, I get up and I do stuff. I mean, I'm gone like all day. I worked yesterday moving stuff around, trying to purge and getting stuff ready to take to the dump. But when I sit down, I'm out. I fall asleep. I mean, within minutes, I will just start, you know, nodding off and doing that.
I know. Talk to the yawner. This way.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's on. He's like,
It's, you know, it's tragic because I do exactly what you say, Jack. You know, and the farther I get from radiation, the more energy I have, and I have most of it in the morning. So I wake up, you know, I'm like, all right, let's get it done. Let's go do stuff. And then I can feel as I go through the day, it's getting lower and lower and lower. And then I used to take a nap. So I would, you know, maybe grab some lunch and I'd sit on the couch and take a nap. Well, now I'm learning how to play ukulele. So I have my ukulele sitting on the couch. So when I sit on the couch, I take 10 minutes, 15 minutes, practice it, and I try to do that 3 or 4 times a day.
Good for you.
So I'm not getting the nap in there, but then I find I'm going to bed earlier. So, but man, when I first got out of the radiation, the whole first week was spent in bed. The second week, half the week was spent in bed. And so it's just been progressively getting better and better and better. And I think Jack and I were talking yesterday about it. I'm not back where I was before I got diagnosed, but I'm back where I was before I started radiation. So I'm still dealing with the Lupron and Xtandi, and it does kind of beat you up. It takes away a lot of your energy, and without that testosterone, you don't really get what you need. And I was out this morning. I went to Costco really early, and just in case you didn't know, people are hoarding toilet paper again. Go figure.
Yes, I know.
And what was the other big thing people were grabbing? Lysol spray, the 5-pack of Lysol spray. And
we haven't had that up there for 8 months.
Oh, really?
The Lysol's been gone. I've been looking for it forever, and it's just gone.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Well,
The Lysol spray?
Yeah.
Or
Spray.
just anything Lysol?
Yeah, the 5-pack. And then they had those the sheets that you would pull out.
Right.
They haven't had those for, I think, 2 weeks into the China flu thing. It was gone.
You're talking about the Kirkland ones where you get 5 packages in a box? Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are gone.
Like Clorox-like?
Yes, that's what they were, Clorox, yeah.
Okay, yeah. We didn't have a problem. Well, initially, we did have a shortage of toilet paper. Not that no one could get it. They could get it, but then they said, okay, limit to 1 customer per pack. And then these smaller stores had rolls here and there. So you can get it. You just had to kind of go around town and figure out who had it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't necessarily a shortage, but as far as the cleaning products, those were gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fortunately, I hoard throughout the year, so I don't really.
So you're the reason there's no toilet paper.
Hey, you know what? When I get a chance, every couple of months, I'll say, "Oh, just get me a roll. Just put it in the garage."
Yeah.
There's no hurry. Nobody's, hitting, needing it right now. So
Exactly, but it's always better to have it and not need it than to need it.
Otherwise, dry leaves make it really hard. Actually, we should do what the Europeans do. Just update our toilets and have a bidet. I mean, that's what they do.
I tried to talk my wife into that. She wouldn't go for it.
Well, send her to France for a week. She'll figure it out. And she'll go like, this is actually not bad.
Well, I have never been to France, and I've never used a bidet in France, but a buddy of mine is from Japan, and he has the Japanese toilet seat.
Yep.
And it's more complicated than my car to drive. But it has the water jet, that hits you, and then it has the little warm air that comes out afterwards and dries you off. And I like it. I like it. It's pretty nice.